Hello and welcome back to another episode of After the Whistle. It's Monday, October 9th, and I'm Jacob Hunting.
And I'm Savannah Bressman. Tonight's episode will include a recap of the GVSU action from a weekend where many of the teams are traveling.
We'll also feature an interview with members of the GVSU women's hockey team and much more.
The Laker football team was in Detroit on Saturday night, facing the Wayne State Warriors. GVSU cruised to a 45-27 victory. Running back Martavius Carter was named the GLIAC Player of the Week after running for 218 yards and scoring 3 touchdowns.
GVSU soccer was in Ohio over the weekend. First, on Friday, the Lakers rolled over Ashland, winning 7-0. It was more of the same on Sunday as Grand Valley blanked the Tiffin Dragons 5-0. The team has not allowed a single goal in 10 straight games.
Women's tennis also was in action. The team improved to 5-0 after beating Lake Superior State 8-1.
Earlier today, our own Paul McPherson was joined by 2 members of the GVSU women's hockey team to discuss the start of their season.
I am joined now by two players from Grand Valley's women's hockey team, defenseman Haley Curie and forward Taylor Lampar. Ladies, thanks for joining me. Now, you guys had a good season last season, finishing 3rd in the conference in the regular season, and you got knocked out in the CCOHA playoffs, make national tournament once again, and now you're coming into this year, you have a bunch of new faces. What do you see out of these new girls? Do you think you guys are going to be improved, or what do you see out of them so far?
I think they make a great asset to our team. They fit in pretty well with our style of play. They have the skill and talent that we have too, so.
I also think they have a lot of hockey smarts. They know where to be, when to be in the right place. They're catching on to all our systems fairly quickly. They ask good questions. So.
That's always a good thing. Now we jump out with new faces, but one thing that is pretty familiar will be the defensive core, bringing back all 5 of your main defensemen from last year, bringing back all 3 of your goalies from last year, just the one new face on defense in Connor Denton. How good do you guys think you can improve your defensive performance? You were already one of the best defensive teams in the nation last year. Do you think you can improve on that?
Yeah, I think that there's always room for improvement, no matter what. And I just know that as the same defense core as last year, that we work well together, and that we're always constantly supporting each other, and constantly, good job, or say, hey, maybe try this, and it's a really good core to have, and I think that there's definitely still room for us to improve on just even little things.
Yeah, I think we were very strong defensively, and obviously they've all worked together for the past couple of years, so, but like she said, there's always room for improvement to be stronger.
And now looking forward, looking at the offense, you were a team that at times you struggled a little bit offensively, lack of scoring goals, especially in big games. Teams like Adrian, Miami, even Michigan State at the end when you played them in the conference tournament. You struggled to score goals at time, and you lose one of your leading scorers in Kendra Myers and one of the top scorers in the country there, as well as your captain Karen Schmaltz, who is one of your top scorers again. But again, you have a lot of new faces in. Players like Sammy Williams looked very good in your guys' scrimmages you had early on. Alexis Peterson as well, and then the big name Allison Carlson, who, for those of you at home who don't know, had 81 goals in 24 games last season at Northern Michigan in D2. Now moving to D1, coming to Grand Valley. How is your guys' offense looking for you guys? What do you think about it? You obviously mentioned that you get to work with Carlson. You really like the way you get to move the puck now.
Yeah, no, it's very nice having somebody who kind of is your style of play. We know where each other is going to be and how to work with each other around. Obviously, the puck passing is very nice to have.
Yeah, I think the forwards are really looking good. We used to have to do this thing in practice last year where defense would always constantly be like, "Hey, D, turn your sticks over. D, turn your sticks over." Just, to give the forwards a chance to get moving and try to get used to it in practice, so that way in the game they feel more comfortable. And we haven't had to turn our sticks over at all yet. So I think that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah, that's a very good sign. And you guys take on Michigan State this weekend series. But yeah, thank you guys for coming in, and back to the studio.
You can catch the team in action Saturday, October 14th, as they will play host to Michigan State at Georgetown Ice Center. Puck drop is at 4:30. We'll go now into the MLB playoffs.
In the American League, the Cleveland Indians have gotten off to a good start in their quest to get back to the World Series, as they've jumped out to a 2-0 lead over the New York Yankees. The Houston Astros defeated the Boston Red Sox to clinch the first championship series spot. In the National League, the defending champion Chicago Cubs are tied 1 game apiece with Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals. In other NL news, the Los Angeles Dodgers have jumped out to a 2-0 lead on the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And now, because the producers of this show are Spartan fans, we are being held against our will in this studio to talk about the MSU U of M game.
Well, State won.
That's it. That's all we're going to talk about. Is that good enough?
No? Well, fine. Here's what they told us that we have to say about the game. The Spartans came into Ann Arbor as 2-touchdown underdogs, but were able to force 5 turnovers from the Michigan offense. The MSU defense held the Wolverines to just 10 points and claimed a 14-10 win. The Paul Bunyan Trophy will return to East Lansing for the 8th time in the past 10 years.
On to the pros now, some notable scores. The Carolina Panthers improved their record to 4-1 after beating the Detroit Lions in a 27-24 disappointing game. Aaron Rodgers and On to the pros now, some notable scores. The Carolina Panthers improved their record to 4-1 after beating the Detroit Lions 27-24 on the road. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers handed the Dallas Cowboys another loss, scoring in the final seconds to win 35-31. Meanwhile, the New York Giants fell to 0-5 as they lost superstar receiver Odell Beckham Jr. with a broken ankle for the rest of the season.
Perhaps the biggest headline to come from football this weekend didn't even happen on the field. Vice President Mike Pence was attending a game between the Indianapolis Colts and the San Francisco 49ers. After noticing several players kneeling during the national anthem, Pence and the Second Lady Karen left the stadium. Pence would go on to tweet that he would not dignify any event that he felt would disrespect the flag. President Trump would also tweet that he asked the vice president to leave the game. It is of note that San Francisco is the former team of Colin Kaepernick, the quarterback who started the protest in response to what he felt was injustice to America. Here is Kaepernick's former teammate Eric Reed on the situation.
My honest reaction, first of all, does anybody know the last time he's been to a football game? Okay, with that being said, he tweeted out a 3-year-old photo of him at a Colts game. So with the information that I have, the last time he's been to a Colts game was 3 years ago. So this looks like a PR stunt to me. He knew our team has had the most players protests. He knew that we were probably going to do it again. And so this is what systemic oppression looks like. A man with power comes to the game, tweets a couple of things out, and leaves the game with an attempt to thwart our efforts. It's really disheartening when everything that you were raised on, everything that I was raised on, was to be the best person I can be, to help people that need help. And the Vice President of the United States is trying to confuse the message that we're trying to put out there.
The NHL season is officially underway. The Detroit Red Wings opened their new home at Little Caesars Arena with a 4-2 victory over the Minnesota Wild. Elsewhere, Alex Ovechkin became the first player since 1917 to open a season with back-to-back hat tricks. Maybe he wants to get out of the second round this year. Finally, the Vegas Golden Knights played their first game in franchise history, defeating the Dallas Stars 2-1 at home.
Our last piece tonight, GVSU was also in Las Vegas this weekend. Well, sort of. 2 former GV wrestlers, Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee, fought for the interim UFC lightweight championship in the main event of UFC 216. Ferguson defeated Lee in the 3rd round via triangle choke. Ferguson could potentially face Conor McGregor in his next fight to unify the belts.
That'll do it for us tonight. We'll be back next Monday with more action. Until then, I'm Jacob Hunting.
And for the rest of the After the Whistle crew, I'm Savannah Bressman. All game, all season, always on After the Whistle.